One of the biggest trends that I'm following in Major League Baseball as we approach the 1/4 mark of the season is the return of offense to the catcher position. There are guys going absolutely crazy at the catcher position. I love when we can see offense from the backstops. And not only are they doing that, they are supplying supreme defense along with this offense. Some of these guys are MVP candidates, legit candidates. So we need to see what are the catchers that are bringing offense and defense back to the position. Let's go. At time recording, catchers had the third best OPS by position. Now, why is this so important? Because in 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020, catchers were dead last in OPS by position. So this is fantastic news for position, and I love that we are bringing offense back to the position. And who better is doing this than MVP candidate, my favorite catcher, Salvador Perez with the Kansas City Royals. Salvi is absolutely lighting it up. Look at these numbers. He's already got 40 hits, 8 bombs, 30 RBIs. He has a 328 batting average, a 388 on base percentage. In fact, he has a 954 OPS, which translates into a 169 OPS plus. So he is absolutely mashing the baseball, providing all kinds of support for the Royals and Vinny Pasquantino and Michael Garcia, and most importantly, Bobby Witt Jr. Now, Perez is not just doing it with the bat, he's doing it with his arm as well. He has a 29% caught stealing rate. Last year, he was -7 in terms of framing runs. This year, he's back in the positives, already a +1 defensive WAR in the positive. You know Salvi knows how to play some defense. He's got 5 Gold Gloves. He is a legit threat offensively and defensively for the Royals. Catching, hitting, defense. We talk all kinds of baseball here on 3 Up, 3 Down. So make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any baseball content right here on 3 Up, 3 Down. Now, back to the action. The other guy who's an absolute stud, maybe becoming one of my top players in baseball, William Contreras, the catcher for the Milwaukee Brewers. You want to talk about MVP candidates? Look at what this guy is doing in his second year in Milwaukee. 336 batting average, 411 on base, 519 slug, translate a 930 OPS, 169 OPS plus. He's got 5 bombs. He's got 27 RBIs. He walks 16 times. Oh, by the way, he throws guys out at a 40% clip. Last year, his framing runs was 7, so you know he knows how to catch the baseball and help his pitchers out as well. William Contreras is absolutely one of the best players in baseball, and he's a legit MVP candidate as well in the National League. It's hard to talk about William without talking about his brother Wilson. Wilson Contreras has been phenomenal. Check it out, a 168 OPS plus, just 1 point behind his brother. In fact, he has a 938 OPS, showing who is in fact the big brother here. 539 slug, 398 on base percentage. He's got 6 bombs and 11 RBIs. 18 walks as well. The thing about Wilson Contreras, though, he's not playing a lot of catcher. He's getting a little bit more time as a DH, which is fine. He's still proving himself to be an adequate catcher. In fact, his arm rate has been much better. So throwing out 33% of runners. His framing rate is in the positives. Last year, it was a -5. So Wilson Contreras has adapted his stance behind the plate, and it's really paying off for him. I think he is going to have a big season for the Cardinals. And after signing that big contract, he seems to have found his comfort in St. Louis. How about the guy who got the big contract with the Dodgers? No, I'm not talking about that guy. I'm talking about catcher Will Smith. Will Smith is absolutely one of the best hitters in baseball. He's been doing this for years. He's just been taking it to the absolute next level with the Dodgers this year. He already has 41 hits, 26 RBIs hitting on that number 4 spot in the Dodgers. What a nice place to be hitting. 347 batting average, 396 on base, 929 OPS. How about a 163 OPS plus for the Dodgers? Oh, by the way, he plays good defense as well. He's thrown out 38% of runners. He's league average in terms of framing the baseball. He is one of the best catchers in baseball that people just don't talk about. I think Will Smith may be the second or third best player on the Dodgers this year. And I think that is a huge mark for him. People just forget about him. He signed that big contract, so the Dodgers know what he's worth to them, to their offense, and to their pitching staff. Will Smith is having a crazy year for them. Yeah, there's a young guy in Baltimore. We can't forget about him. How about Adley Rushman? Everybody expects him to be very good, and he's been very good. 45 hits, 5 bombs, 22 RBIs, 324 batting average. The batting averages for these guys are absolutely crazy. 362 on base, 475 slug, and 837 OPS. How about a 145 OPS plus? 145, and he's one of the lower guys in this tier list for the catchers. This is fantastic what the catchers are doing for Major League Baseball this season in terms of offense, and you know Adley Rushman can play some defense. He hasn't really been able to show up much this year. Guys are running less on him. He's only thrown out 10% of runners. However, his frame rate is very good. He was +5 last year. So you know he knows how to help out his pitching staff. And Adley Rushman, with that switch hitting ability as a catcher too, that's fantastic to have. I think he is one of, if not the best catchers in the American League, and is really rounding out into his form that was expected from being such a high draft pick. You know a guy who gets overlooked as a catcher because of where he plays and the pitching staff being so poor? It's Elias Diaz with the Colorado Rockies. Diaz has had a very, very good season. He's got 33 hits, 2 bombs, 15 RBIs. Elias Diaz has a 308 batting average, 776 OPS. That turns into a 114 OPS plus, and he's a very good defender as well. He's thrown out 29% of runners, which is very impressive considering how often teams are running on the Rockies and running on that pitching staff. Diaz really controls the running game very well, given what he has to work with. And he's a tremendous framer of the baseball as well. He may have been -8 last year, but he has turned that around and it's +2 already this year in 2024. He's really adapted his catching to become a much better framer and thrower of the baseball. He's been a solid hitter for a few years for Colorado. He was the All-Star Game MVP last year. So remember, Elias Diaz is one of the best catchers in baseball. And you know the guy who I think is the most fun on this list? That's Ryan Jeffers, the Minnesota Twins. Jeffers has been fantastic. People are going to say, well, he's been DHing a lot. Yeah, he's played 12 games as DH. He's played 16 games as a catcher. He's been alternating back and forth between them. That is perfectly fine, and he definitely still fits as a catcher. And look at these numbers. 6 home runs, 22 RBIs, 291 batting average, 375 on base. How about a 938 slug? How about a 167 OPS plus? Yeah, that's right. We have 4 catchers in baseball at this time with an OPS plus of over 160. That is phenomenal. And Ryan Jeffers can really throw the baseball. He's only had 3 stolen base attempts against him this year, and he's thrown out 2 of them. How about a 67% rate there? He isn't the best framer of the baseball on this list. He was -4 last year. He's -1 this year, but he more than makes up with his arm strength and the hitting ability. Ryan Jeffers is a sneaky, sneaky good catcher for the Minnesota Twins. I want to throw out a couple of honorable mentions as well. How about Connor Wong with the Boston Red Sox? 163 OPS plus. Why am I not considering him for this list? Because he doesn't play as much catcher as some of these other guys, but he is having an absolutely phenomenal season. In fact, this guy can play catcher and second base. That just shows you how talented of an athlete that Connor Wong is. You've got Travis d'Arnaud as well, 153 OPS plus. Yes, I know he's catching more now. He isn't doing as much when Sean Murphy is healthy. He's more of a DH at that time. But Travis d'Arnaud has been a solid hitter for years and has really come on strong in 2024. And lastly, my favorite Toronto Blue Jay. I absolutely love the way Danny Jansen plays. I know he was hurt at the start of the year, so that's why I didn't include him, but I have to talk about Danny Jansen. He's got a 209 OPS plus. Yes, small sample size, but he understands what he is as a hitter. He is a dead red pull hitter with power. He tries to drive the ball to that left center gap, and he's so much fun to watch. I think he does a wonderful job of handling the pitching staff as well. I just had to include him on this list because I absolutely think Danny Jansen is my favorite Toronto Blue Jay. And how could I leave him off? So there you have it. Look what the guys are doing at the catcher position. This is so much fun. If you think I've missed someone, make sure you comment down below who you think is one of the best offensive and defensive catchers this year in 2024. As always, thank you so much for making it all the way to the end of another video here on 3 Up, 3 Down. Make sure you go check out some of my previous videos. We're talking a lot about 5-tool players as well as breaking down the Luis Arias trade. And we're doing some really fun stuff with Out of the Park Baseball. So maybe come check me out there as well. Until next time, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, everyone.